Now to an incredible find overseas, an elaborate series of stone monuments believed to have been hidden for thousands of years, not far from the famous site of Stonehenge.
Now, a new analysis shows that the 6-ton iconic altar stone at the heart of Stonehenge originated from northeastern Scotland.
For thousands of years, Stonehenge has stood silently on the English countryside, watching civilizations rise and fall around it. Kings, scholars, explorers, and scientists have all stared at the ancient monument and asked the same question. Who built it and why? Every generation believed it was getting closer to the answer. Yet the deeper researchers looked, the more mysterious Stonehenge became. Recently, a new wave of technology brought an unexpected player into the investigation. Instead of relying on a single archaeological theory, researchers gathered centuries of surveys, geological studies, measurements, and astronomical observations and fed them into an advanced artificial intelligence system. The goal was simple: find something humans might have missed. What happened next reignited one of history's greatest debates. At first glance, Stonehenge looks impossible. Massive stones weighing dozens of tons stand in carefully arranged circles. Some were transported from locations many miles away. Others were shaped with a level of precision that still surprises modern engineers. The traditional explanation has always been straightforward. Ancient communities worked together, moving the stones with ropes, wooden sleds, and extraordinary determination. But the monument itself raises difficult questions. Why transport specific stones across such vast distances when suitable rocks existed much closer? Why arrange them in this exact pattern? And why invest generations of effort into creating something so complex? The AI began searching for answers in a place most people rarely discuss. Not the stones. The holes. Surrounding the monument is a ring of ancient pits known as the Aubrey Holes. For centuries, they were considered little more than background features. Some contained cremated remains, while others appeared empty. Most researchers saw them as part of an early construction phase and moved on. The AI didn't. When it examined the spacing between every hole, it found something unexpected. The pattern wasn't random. Instead, the distances appeared to follow a repeating mathematical rhythm remarkably similar to the movements of the moon across the sky. Researchers were stunned. If the pattern truly reflects lunar cycles, it suggests the builders possessed an astonishing understanding of celestial movements. Not just casual observations, but knowledge gathered through years of careful tracking. Think about what that would require. Someone would have needed to watch the heavens for decades, recording subtle changes most people would never notice. The information would then have to be passed from one generation to the next before finally being transformed into a physical design on the landscape. That alone would be impressive. But the AI was only getting started. When researchers turned their attention to the standing stones themselves, another mystery emerged. Using detailed measurements of every stone's position, height, and orientation, the system ran a series of acoustic simulations. The results were surprising. According to the analysis, Stonehenge may not simply have been built to be seen. It may have been built to be experienced. The monument's layout appears capable of shaping sound in unusual ways. Certain frequencies become amplified inside the circle, creating effects that would have been impossible for visitors to understand thousands of years ago. Imagine standing among those towering stones while drums echoed through the air. Voices rise. Chants spread across the gathering. The sound bounces from stone to stone, creating vibrations that seem to come from everywhere at once. To ancient people, the experience could have felt supernatural, as if the monument itself had come alive. Researchers noticed something even stranger. Several locations where ancient cremated remains were discovered correspond closely with points where these acoustic effects would have been strongest. No one knows whether this connection is meaningful or coincidental, but it adds another layer to a monument already overflowing with unanswered questions. Then attention shifted to the famous bluestones. These smaller stones were transported from Wales, an incredible distance for people living thousands of years ago. For generations, archaeologists have debated why these particular rocks were chosen. The AI offered a fascinating possibility. Many of the stones produce distinctive tones when struck. Rather than selecting rocks at random, the builders may have deliberately chosen stones with specific acoustic properties. If true, Stonehenge was never simply a collection of giant rocks. It was part observatory, part ceremonial center, and perhaps even part instrument. That realization changes everything, because constructing something like this would require more than manpower. It would require planning, extensive planning. Long before the first stone was raised, someone had to understand how the pieces would work together. The monument suddenly begins to look less like a simple construction project and more like the final stage of a much larger vision. And when researchers expanded their investigation beyond Stonehenge itself, they discovered evidence suggesting the monument may only be one piece of a far bigger design. Across the surrounding landscape lie ancient earthworks, burial mounds, avenues, and ceremonial sites. Viewed individually, they seem unrelated. Viewed together, they tell a different story. Patterns begin to emerge. Geometric relationships connect distant locations. Certain structures align with important astronomical events. Others appear positioned with remarkable precision across miles of countryside. The deeper the AI looked, the harder it became to see Stonehenge as a standalone monument. Instead, it appeared to sit at the center of an enormous network stretching far beyond the famous stone circle. And if that network was intentional, an even bigger mystery emerges. How did people without modern technology plan something on such a scale? How did they maintain the same vision across generations? And who first imagined it? Those questions would lead researchers toward the most unsettling discovery of all. Because the evidence suggested the builders weren't gradually learning how to create Stonehenge. They may have been struggling to preserve knowledge that was already slipping away. And that possibility would transform the entire story. As researchers continued examining Stonehenge and the landscape surrounding it, a surprising pattern began to emerge. The mystery was no longer about how the monument was built. The real mystery was whether the people constructing it fully understood what they were building at all. When the AI compared the oldest sections of the site with the newer additions, it noticed something unexpected. The earliest work appeared to be the most precise. The oldest arrangements showed stronger alignments. The positioning seemed more accurate. Certain features appeared better integrated into the overall design. Then, over time, that precision gradually faded. Later modifications were still impressive, but subtle inconsistencies began to appear. Stones drifted slightly from ideal positions. Some alignments became less exact. Features that once worked together perfectly no longer fit with the same level of accuracy. It was as if the original builders possessed knowledge that later generations were trying to preserve but slowly losing. That observation challenges one of our most common assumptions about history. We usually imagine progress moving in one direction. Each generation learns from the last, becoming more skilled and knowledgeable over time. But Stonehenge seems to tell a different story. What if the earliest builders understood something their descendants only partially remembered? What if the monument wasn't the beginning of a discovery? What if it was the final attempt to preserve one? The AI found hints of this possibility everywhere. Some stones show signs of being worked at different times by different groups. Earlier craftsmanship appears more refined, while later modifications often seem less confident. Imagine inheriting a machine so advanced that you know it matters, but you no longer understand exactly how it works. You preserve it. You repair it. You pass it to your children. But with every generation, a little more knowledge disappears. Eventually, all that remains is tradition. The instructions survive. The understanding does not. That possibility becomes even more intriguing when viewed alongside the larger landscape. Remember, Stonehenge does not stand alone. It sits within a network of ancient monuments spread across the countryside. Many of those locations appear connected through geometry and astronomy. Some were built centuries before the famous stone circle itself. That means the master plan may have existed long before Stonehenge reached its final form. Think about the scale of that achievement. A vision created by one generation would need to be carried forward by people who would never see the finished result. Fathers teaching sons. Mothers teaching daughters. Knowledge passing from one lifetime to the next. Builders dedicating their entire lives to a project whose completion belonged to distant descendants. Few human endeavors have ever demanded that kind of patience. Yet the evidence suggests exactly that. And then comes the final mystery. Why did it end? Most ancient sites fade away gradually. People leave. Populations shift. Buildings collapse. Time does the rest. Stonehenge appears different. The final activity at the site suggests deliberate closure. Certain areas were carefully covered. Important features seem to have been protected rather than abandoned. The monument was not simply left behind. It was preserved. Almost as though the people responsible understood they could no longer maintain it, but wanted future generations to find it intact. That distinction matters. Abandonment suggests indifference. Preservation suggests intention. Someone wanted the monument to survive. Someone believed it would still matter long after they were gone. Perhaps they hoped future civilizations would understand what they could not. Perhaps they believed the answers would one day return. Or perhaps they simply refused to let the knowledge disappear completely. Whatever the reason, their efforts worked. Thousands of years later, Stonehenge still stands. The builders are gone. Their language is gone. Their beliefs remain largely unknown. Yet the monument continues asking the same questions. Why was it built? What knowledge inspired its design? And what message, if any, was intended for the distant future? The AI has not solved those mysteries. Far from it. In many ways, it has made them even larger. What it revealed is not a simple explanation but a pattern. A pattern suggesting extraordinary planning, remarkable astronomical awareness, sophisticated understanding of landscape design, and a determination to preserve something across generations. Whether those discoveries represent forgotten science, ancient ritual, or something we have not yet imagined remains fiercely debated. But one thing is certain. Stonehenge is far more than a ring of old stones. It is a message from a world that no longer exists. A message carved into the landscape by people who understood that human lives are short, but knowledge can endure if it is written in the right place. For thousands of years, the monument has waited. Waiting for someone to ask the right questions. Waiting for someone to see patterns hidden in plain sight. Waiting for someone to understand what its builders were trying to preserve. Perhaps we are closer than ever before. Or perhaps we are only beginning to realize how much we still don't know. Because the greatest mystery of Stonehenge may not be how it was built. It may be why so many generations felt compelled to protect it. And until that question is answered, the stones will continue standing exactly where they have stood for millennia. Silent, patient, and unwilling to give up their final secret.